Is luck real? Yes and no at the same time, really. Hey, what's happening, bro and bro? It's Wolfdad here doing a bi-weekly series of about a random topic where I talk about stuff, and today is luck. So, as I said before, I believe luck is more of a state of mind than some unexplainable force that some people like to think it is. If you truly believe that a four-leaf clover is lucky, then I would say you have an optimistic outlook, and you will notice that you are more lucky than you thought before you found this four-leaf clover. And if you believe that if the 13th of the month falls on a Friday, that it's bad luck, then you have a pessimistic outlook, and maybe you will end up in a car crash. Or not, I mean, not just because you believe that Friday the 13th is unlucky does not mean something bad will happen to you, but it is more likely. Just like with the four-leaf clover being lucky, just because you have it, it does not necessarily mean you will be more lucky. I, myself, have unintentionally, actually, tried this out, because one day I was having lunch with a friend of mine, Wii405 from Pack Attack Gaming, and I just told him that every time, I work in the produce department, and we get new skids in, fruit and vegetables on pallets and that. Big, probably about as tall as me, about 7 of these pallets a day. And I keep complaining to him at my lunch hour that it's like, man, customers come in and they ask for stuff that's not on the shelf and I have to go in the back and look for it, and it is always on the bottom of the skids. I have to dig for it. And then he just kind of looked at me like, maybe that's just the way you're looking at it. So I was like, So then for the next couple of days, I went and tried it. And sure enough, he was right. Sort of. I started noticing that sometimes the product was on the top of the pile. If I had to kind of make a percentage, say, of the timing, it'd be about 50% of the time it was still on the bottom. Maybe about 20% of the time it was kind of in the middle, not quite high enough to be a top item or low enough for a bottom item, and maybe 30% of the time it was on top. So he was somewhat right. There were times, it was not every time, that there was a product on the bottom of the skid. Having an optimistic approach to luck won't make you luckier, although it may make you think you're luckier, which could be all you need. Basically, if you have a positive outlook and you buy a lottery ticket, you'll still have a 1 in 30 million odd of winning. And if you buy a lottery ticket with a pessimistic outlook, that chance does not change. One part of you may end up being disappointed, and that may be what people shy away from. If you go to buy a lottery ticket, I have a good feeling I'm going to win, you don't win, you're sad. If you go in buying a lottery ticket being like, I doubt I'll win, but I'll buy one anyway, you're correct. But is correct really that good of a feeling that you would sacrifice positive thinking? Because there's times that you can get an edge on an opponent in a luck-based game, like blackjack, for example. If you haven't heard of card counting, that's just taking a look at it. It's pretty interesting, but I would not suggest trying it at a casino, because I think it's a big no-no nowadays. Now that the casinos have found out about this card counting strategy, they won't have anything to do with it. But for the sake of this video, basically card counting is a algorithm that allows you to figure out which the next card is going to be. Let's say something like, there have already been 3 aces and half the deck hasn't even been played yet. The odds of I'm going to get an ace to make it a perfect 21 is quite low. That's a very simplistic form of it. It gets quite intricate, but for the sake of the example, that's that. But I'm going to talk to you now about effort. Effort and luck in the same video, because they coexist quite perfectly together, if I do say so myself. It takes effort to learn how to card count cards. People who took the time to figure out the algorithm have an advantage over those who play blackjack for the luck portion of the game. a CSGO, Counter-Strike Go pro player, puts in effort in the form of practice to get better at the game. Not because he feels like playing Counter-Strike, but because she wants to be one of the best. This person will practice in ranked matches, find out strategies online, things like that, to try and be the best. But there is also people who are just naturally better than you. These people, whether it be video games or sports, still have to put in an effort. It may not have to be as great of an effort as that you're putting in, but if they don't put in about the same amount of effort, you may be able to get ahead of them. Maybe. And if you find someone out there who is really good at sports or esports or whatever, and they don't practice, I guess they're really lucky.